In the year 1999, we took a trip to Indonesia and Singapore. Indonesia has its culture obtained from our country, and it is felt. Sage Agastya went there to spread our culture. Agastya is a name generally given to the saints, and it may not be the same Agastya of Ramayana times. But you find Agastya being worshipped as one of the earliest saints of Indonesia. It was known as Suvarna Bhumi of those days. Today it is a Muslim majority country, and interestingly, there is so much of harmony between the cultures of Muslims and the ancient cultures of Hindus coexisting in Indonesia. India, of course, Hinduism suffered quite a bit by various invasions, and Buddhism totally disappeared from our country. Whereas they are somewhat peacefully coexisting in Indonesia. That's a significant point to be noted. When we landed at Jakarta airport when we came out, that was the Republic Day, and everywhere you found flags, Dirgayu, Republic Indonesia. Means Dirgayu, that means long live. So Sanskrit words are being used liberally everywhere. That's what we could see. And very interestingly, the currency notes has the image of Ganesha, and the idols of Hindu gods are seen everywhere. For example, Hanuman statue could be found before every government office. So indeed, they say that Hanuman is symbol of devotion to the master. So we want the government servants to be highly devoted. So he is symbolically kept there. And near the secretariat buildings, you have a very huge statue which they call as Arjun Vijaya. Huge sized horses being drawn, drawing a cart where Krishna is sitting, looking at Arjuna. And even names, they adopt Hindu names. Our guide was one Kunti, and she is a Muslim by birth. And she was named by her parents as Kunti because Kunti happens to be the mother of 5 great sons. She is also supposed to be such a mother. That's the explanation they gave. And it is a very neatly maintained city. And we saw in the evening a Ramayana ballet, which is run throughout the year every day. So the entire story of Ramayana, with little change here and there, is shown as a ballet there. It's a very interesting thing. Then few museums we saw. One is Purna Prithvi, where the various artifacts of Indian culture are displayed. In the museum, we could see the carving of a tree, roots at the top, and the leaves and the branches at the bottom. And the trunk is entirely carved with wooden carvings of various scenes on Purana, like Ramayana. It is symbolically to represent the creation, where the roots are at the top and the creation is at the bottom. Another carving also was to depict the Ramayana totally. There were so many other artifacts also in that museum. Then we visited Borobudur, a kind of a Buddhist location, and we could find out a statue with skin and bone of Buddha. After several days of tapas without food or water, the Buddha was supposed to have lost all weight. He had become skin and bone, and that is depicted in that statue. We visited Jogjakarta, where extensively statues are being carved and sold on the roads. Guruji liked one statue of Dhanya Lakshmi. It was made up of a lava stone, carved beautifully. She is holding the rice pots in her hand, and we got them transported to India, and today it is kept in the Jana Mandir of Mahalakshmi temple at Bhimanipatnam. And the very important temple, which they call as Prabhanan, which is to indicate it is Parabrahman. And the temple contains separate temples for Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and also Agastya, with their vahanas, which established in the front. After visiting Jogjakarta, we went to Bali. It is a separate island with its airport called Denpasar. It's a beautiful airport, very artistic, outside of which you have the statue of Ghatotkacha. And Bali contains sizable number of Hindus, I mean the practicing Hindus. And there are temples where there are rituals being done on par with our country. And after the visit of Indonesia, we went to Singapore, and we saw the disciplined way in which the people are made to live, with little of private transport and excellently organized public transport. Visited a few gardens there. Though it's a very small country, it is highly advanced in all respects, and it is trilingual. Tamil is one of the languages, official languages, and you will find the board which contains all the official languages, including Tamil. Guruji made 5 trips to USA during the years 1997 to 2012. The first trip being in 1997, the next one in 2004, the next one in 2007, then 2010, and the last trip being 2012. The purpose of the trip is not only to visit the devotees and his family members, it is to bring out a closeness between India and the US, which was greatly strained due to our policies. After independence, we started towing the line of Russia. We wanted India to proceed in the Russian model, and America was not taken into confidence. This has gone deep into the policies of the Pentagon, and we suffered quite a damage due to that policy. When America wanted to establish industries outside US, they preferred all other destinations other than India due to our policy. So Guruji want to set it right. That's one purpose. Another purpose, the children whom Guruji named, they were grown and they have taken good positions in US, and they require his blessings for their balance of life. So he wanted to give them a look up and then bless them all. And finally, there is a time during the 2010 to 12, there is a recession, and our American economy was just greatly affected, and we could see the malls almost empty. Guruji felt very sorry for that state of affairs because the livelihood of so many common men would be affected. Symbolically, he purchased as much as possible so that we could bring them back to our country only in a container. So, symbolically, that helped their economy to get a boost. In the first trip, we first reached Los Angeles, stayed with Shantikumar, and then we had gone to Washington. In Washington, we took an accommodation in a hotel very close to the Pentagon. On the 14th floor where we were staying, Guruji could show us to the Pentagon, and then felt and expressed that the relationship between the two great democracies should improve. That happened subsequently. Then Washington, we went to New York. And in New York, Guruji was invited to address a gathering at a Ganesh temple at Flushing. So there were nearly 150 local population who attended his talk. At the end of which, a foreigner asked, "You are worshipping the idols? Are they real?" Then Guruji gave a beautiful answer. They are as exact and as real and as clear as I am seeing you, he said. I am able to see Ganapati as clearly as I am able to see you, he said. So the man was startled to see someone who claims to have seen the Ganapati in flesh and blood. So we visited various museums and various other spots of importance in New York. And then we had gone to California and through Chicago. We took the travel by road and we could see very many places on the way. We visited also the ISKCON headquarters, and then we saw how much they are devoted to their cause. So we could take some lunch there, and Guruji was very much impressed with their devotion and sacrifice. We visited Dallas, also, and we could exactly see the place where Kennedy was shot dead. That was the first trip. Subsequently, all the other trips, similar places we had seen, and wherever he went, he used to bless the local population and visited the local Hindu temples and then addressed the gathering. And several revelations about the origin of our religion and culture he revealed to them. I remember in Atlanta, in a temple of Venkateshwara, he gave a lecture. He gave a lecture how the Vedas came into existence, Upanishads came into existence by the tapas of rishis. So, what is the greatness of these Upanishads? The story of the evolution of jivas. So, at all occasions, he could throw the seeds of our culture in the minds of Indian youth who had probably no time to go through such things in their day-to-day life. So the seeds certainly would sprout and they would one day become good Hindus. That was the purpose. And being a greatest democracy, the India should make all attempts to understand the culture and objectives of the American nation and then sail along nicely. That was Guruji's opinion in the matter.